Hi guys, today I'm going to talk about my first ever Aliexpress purchase, which is a cartridge for the Mega Drive. It's called a 126 in 1. In the video I'm going to explain a little bit about it, what it is, why I've got it. It's one of those things I didn't even know existed until about 2 weeks ago, so I'm going to try and compare it to some other options and go through it with you. So firstly we'll talk about Mega Drive in general. There are many ways at the moment to get Mega Drive games. You can get Mega Drive games on emulators, which you can get on your PC. You can get emulators on your phone. You can get emulators on old consoles or even new consoles. You can actually get a Mega Drive emulator as part of the expansion pack with the Nintendo Online service. Now I've got the Nintendo Online for the Switch, but I've only got the basic one because there's a massive difference in price. It's twice the price to get the expansion pack. But with the expansion pack you get the N64 and the Mega Drive, as well as a Game Boy Advance. Now on the Switch, you get 44 games for the Mega Drive. And on this cartridge you get 126. If you emulate it on your PC, I imagine you'll probably get as many as you want, if you can find them. And on other consoles you can. Now my original Xbox, the first Xbox, when I got it, within days of getting it, I had it chipped and upgraded. Now what the upgrading did, it gave me both SNES and MAME, so arcade games, and some Genesis stroke Mega Drive games. In fact, we'll have a look at it, I've got 268 Mega Drive games. What I'll do, I'll try and compare the emulated games on my Xbox with the games in the 126 cartridge and the original games on the Mega Drive, and I will try and show you what they look like. I haven't got the right video and equipment to do grabs of the screen, so it's going to be me sort of filming the screen, so sorry if it just looks a bit weird, but I'll explain more than I'll actually show. The great thing about having the games on the Xbox is I guess I've got a lot of them, but having a lot of them doesn't always become a good thing because you get a lot of them and some of them don't work or they're in foreign languages. The other problem with the ones on the Xbox is the Xbox doesn't have clearly the right controller, as when using it on your phone. If you're emulating it on your phone, again, you don't have the right controller. So I've got this great big Xbox controller, wired one for the old Xbox because it was wired only. The Mega Drive first started out with a 3-button controller. So you had A, B, C, start and the direction. And you've got A, B, X and Y on this. You've got A, B and C and so on. And then you've got 2 extra buttons down here. The thing is, when you're playing the games on this, on the emulated version, it can be a mix of which buttons are which. Some of the games, the later games, used the later controller. So later in its life, the Mega Drive stroke Genesis got a 6-button controller. And the 6-button controller meant that you could do extra features in games. Now, not many games had it, to be honest. Some of the first games, like Sonic, if you look at the Sonic game, first Sonic the Hedgehog, or most of the Sonic Hedgehogs, only ever used 1 button. And you had the start button to choose, and then you had the jump, stroke, spin button. That was it. So you could either use A, B or C, it didn't matter. You didn't need the extra buttons. But other games, like, say, Comix Zone uses the 3 A, B, C buttons plus the 3 buttons above to use items that you can collect during the game. So I'm going to compare the Comix Zone on the Xbox. So I do have the original Comix Zone cartridge for the Mega Drive, and that obviously is going to be played on my multi-Mega. So I have a Mega Drive with a cartridge and a CD. So I'm going to play that on the Mega Drive. I'm going to compare the original Comix Zone with the 126 cartridge and the Xbox and give you a definitive answer between the 3. And then I'll do the same with some of the other games I've got and compare them to let you know what they are like. And I'll talk about some of the other features as well. Now the way the 126 in 1 cartridge works is very similar to the way my Xbox works, in that there's a big list of games. Starting with A, it goes alphabetical order, you go all the way down through the games, you press the up and down arrow. You can press the right and left on your direction controller and that will go through a page at a time, and then you just pick a game and it loads. So Comix Zone on the Xbox plays quite good. It plays well. I said the problem with the buttons is you've only got the Xbox buttons and they sort of not in the right order, so it's weird to try and work out what does what. Obviously playing it on the original cartridge, you've got the 6-button controller, which I luckily have a 6-button controller, so I can use all the buttons. And obviously if I'm using it on the 126, the 126 version and the original version for the Mega Drive, they look exactly the same. I can't tell any difference between the version that's on here and the version that's on here. The version on the Xbox is the emulated version. It is actually slightly faster. The emulated version is running on better hardware. So obviously the Xbox has a much better system than the original 16-bit Mega Drive. Similarly, I imagine would go for the version that you get on the Switch. The Switch expansion pack, obviously those games are designed specifically by Sega with Nintendo, so they've obviously probably been upgraded to work in the Switch. The Switch is a much better console, it's got much better processors and power, so it's probably faster and probably clearer as well. Probably looks better, so it would have been redeveloped. The only thing is that with the Switch, they do a wireless controller like this, but they've taken away the top 3 buttons. So there's a wireless Sega controller available from Nintendo. Looks like this, but it's only got 3 buttons, and Comix Zone's a 6-button game. So it's probably a bit difficult to play. There'll be certain features of it that won't work. Golden Axe again works the same. The 126 version of Golden Axe works the same as the Mega Drive version and the same as the Xbox version. The Xbox version again is a little bit faster. Other games I've tried, Columns. Streets of Rage. Now, the thing with this cartridge is obviously, other than those games I've already showed you, the games I've already got, there's over 100 other games as well. And that's the whole point of it, 126 games. Now, some of those games are continuations of, so you've got like Strider 1 and Strider 2. Golden Axe, you've got Golden Axe 1, Golden Axe 2, Golden Axe 3. But then there's loads of other games. So it's a decent list of games. There's only Sonic 1 and Sonic 2, which is a little bit disappointing because I was hoping for Sonic 3. It's alright. There's enough games on there to get you going. And the thing was, this was my trial version of buying something from Aliexpress. It was dead cheap. I paid a £5 for this. It was an introductory offer for £5. And I just wanted to see what Aliexpress was like and wanted to see if this actually worked on the Mega Drive. Now, there are a handful of the games. I counted about 10 or 12 games that are in Japanese only. Strangely enough, the Slam Dunk Basketball is in Japanese only, which is a bit weird. I thought that would all be English, but never mind. It plays okay, though. And that's the thing with all the Japanese games. If the games are in Japanese, pretty much you can work out virtually what they do and play them. There's a couple you can't. They really need to read through them, and in Japanese it's impossible. Yeah, the good thing about this is, though, they do more of these. This is just one of them. If you look on the AliExpress site, there's actually loads of them. They do others with more games, 280 games, 480 games. If you want the full Mega Drive retro feel, then, and you've got a Mega Drive with the controllers, these things are ideal. I think they're brilliant. They are very good for what they do. It has that full, true, really true retro feel to it. So if you've got any questions about any of this or any other reviews I've done in the past, tap a little comment down in the comment section down below. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so I can let you know when I'm uploading new videos. And thanks for watching, and see you later. Bye bye.